welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm really excited to do this video. I'm going to be showing you some of the books that I have. I have so many books. And so it's just such a full circle moment for me, because when I was younger, I used to watch BookTube. Like, I would watch these YouTubers who would review books and show what books they would buy. And that's why I have so many books, because I've been collecting them since I was like younger, like a preteen. And now we're here, and my taste in books has sort of changed, and now we're making a video for BookTube. It's so crazy. And then I was trying to find the old YouTubers that I used to watch, and there was so many. It was like flooded with a whole bunch of new BookTubers, and I was like, whoa, that's crazy. And I did end up finding the YouTubers I used to watch. One particular I watched the most. Her name was Poland Bananas Books on YouTube. Her name actually was Christine, and I wanted to like channel Christine for this video. She's very bubbly and like, I don't know. So yeah, I'm Elisheva. Nice to meet you guys. And this is my entrance. This is my entry. Yeah, my entry into the BookTube community. And I'm gonna make it a point to read more often. I used to be such a reader. I would read so many books back to back, like 800-page books I would get through in like 3 days. And so I'm not sure if I want to be at that level unless I really like the book, but I just want to be more intentional with it and expand my vocabulary and learn, and I just love when I'm reading. So I'm going to make a point to do that, and I'm going to be making more videos on that, you know, on the books that I'm reading, what insights I'm getting, what I'm learning, what books I buy, cause that's so fun. That's so fun. So I'm here, I'm like cleaning and organizing my room, and I got new books for Christmas and my birthday, and I had to like organize the books I already had, and it just got me excited to like make this video and to show you guys the books that I have. First, I'm gonna show you the book series that I read last year. I'm technically still counting this as like a year. Like, it's not gonna be the new year until the Chinese say it's the new year. I don't remember exactly when it is, but yeah, so I'm gonna try to read as many books as possible before the year ends, and I'm gonna show you what series I read, and it got me back into reading in 2025. So let me show you, 1 second. Also, I'm on my bed, so you're gonna hear a lot of creaking. Okay, sorry. Okay, so let me show you the books that I've read so far. Oh my gosh, this is so book talk. I'm like trying to do the thumbnail. Wait. This is so cute. Okay, so this book series right here. This book series is my favorite book series of all time. I've never been so invested in a story, and like so much so that I read through them so quickly, back to back. How many pages is this last one? This last one is 679 pages. And it didn't take me very long to read it. I don't remember how long it took me. But yeah, so it starts off with The Kiss of Deception. So this story is about a princess who is betrothed, and she's being forced to marry a prince to like unite two kingdoms, but she ends up running away because she's always longed to live a normal life, and she runs away to this small little village, and she works at a, what would you call it? It's not like a hostel, like I forgot what they call it. Cause it's like very old timey. But yeah, anyways, it's basically a hostel, and she works there, and the prince ends up chasing her and trying to find her, and an assassin. Look, you could see the assassin here. Where's the prince? Oh, and then the prince is like right here. So yeah, so both of them end up finding her, but both of them end up like falling in love with her, and you don't know which one is the prince and which one is the assassin until the end of the book. So you're like guessing it the whole time, and it really caught me off guard. The person that ended up being the assassin did surprise me, and it's so much so that I went into the second book, The Heart of Betrayal. I won't go into like what is in the second book because I want you to read it. But yeah, The Heart of Betrayal, great book. I didn't love it as much as I loved the first one, but the last book I loved so much because it was like wartimey, and like literally like she's carrying a sword, like she's a badass. It's called The Beauty of Darkness. So yeah, I love these books so much so that I bought the continuation of, it's not like the same series, it's like a different story. It's set 5 years after the final battle. It's called The Dance of Thieves. It's an enemies to lovers. I'm currently reading it. Look at my bookmark that I have so many bookmarks because I'm a chronic book starter, but I like don't finish them. Oh my gosh, I left off on page 96. That's such an important number for me. I have a song called 96 because like, you know, it's like yin yang, but like they're facing away from each other. But yeah, and then the world card is in between. That's such a like, the world is like completion and learning these, or you've like learned the lessons and now it's time for the next adventure, the next level. That's cool. So yeah, I'm into this book. I really love this author's writing. Excuse me, but I haven't finished it yet, and I need to finish it. But there's like several books that I want to read, and I have to like prioritize one over the other so I could actually finish these books. Okay, another book that I read in 2025 was The Mastery of Love, which is the second book to The Four Agreements. And I like this better than The Four Agreements, actually. The Mastery of Love. It gave me so much like insight on this like past connection that I hadn't been able to like let go, and a new connection that I thought I had a crush on somebody. I did not. It gave me the ick so quickly, but this allowed me to like let go and see that clearly. And then it also gave me more insight on like this like friendship breakup or ending, that it like helped me have more grace for her and for the situation. So I really recommend this book. Obviously read The Four Agreements, but I don't think you have to read The Four Agreements before reading this. So if this one is like drawing your attention, read it. Okay, so I'm gonna put this back to like behind the camera, so sorry for the weird angle. But But yeah, these are the books I've already read, and I'm gonna go into the books that I've started, and then I'll go into the books that I'm like excited to read. Okay. Okay, so I showed you the Dance of Thieves. I also have the the Hearth Witch's Guide to Magic and Murder by Kiri Galligan. And I picked this book, one, because it's pink. It has pink pages, or like not the inside, just the outside. It's a beautiful book. It has skulls, which really attracts me. But also because I was with my best friend when we were buying it, and like it just makes me think of her and me. It says, hold on. Avery Hemlock, the changeling they sentenced to 500 years of nightmares, inherently lacking social grace and missing approximately 2 centuries of world knowledge, Avery must find a way to acclimate and solve the case or lose her probationary freedom. After being left at the altar and dropping out of a medical school, Saga Trigg attempts to rekindle her faith in life, humanity, and witchcraft. But when her new neighbor, Avery, accidentally reveals that the Fae, who have been living among humanity all along, Saga realizes magic is far more than prayers, intention, and candles. Each faced with navigating an unfamiliar world, the two form an unexpected partnership, but shortly into Avery's investigation, they discover the threat might be closer to Saga than either of them imagined, and Avery will do anything to protect the first friend she's had in more than 200 years. So yeah, like I consider myself as Avery, and Saga reminds me of my best friend Alexa. One, because Alexa's really into like she's into manga, and so it like Saga like just it makes me think of her. But yeah, so I picked it up and I started reading it, but I'll like start things, and if they don't catch my like intrigue immediately, I tend to like leave them for a while before I go back to them. Okay, so another book that I've started is Real Energy. I forgot. I got this from like from somewhere that I used to work, and he gave everybody $80 on Chinese New Year. I was literally just talking about Chinese New Year, so that's interesting. So on Chinese New Year, he gave everybody $80. He gave me this envelope with $80 in it, and by the end of the night, those $80 were stolen. And I asked my aunt, who was also my boss, to check the cameras, and she said we can't do that. So I know that it was my aunt that stole it. Just there were several things that were like hinting towards that, but yeah, I don't know. I carry this around as like a sign of luck, because whatever was taken from me will be given back to me like tenfold. So those $80 are gonna multiply. And so that's what this like always reminds me of, and I use it as a bookmark now, so that's interesting. Okay, so yeah, Real Energy. So it has everything you could possibly want in a book about the metaphysics of energy, science, history, magic, mysticism, a multicultural perspective, humor, and most importantly, practical application. Highly recommended for anybody working with nebulous worlds of energy, healing, and spirits. It says use energy to heal, change, and grow. Real Energy, systems, spirits, and substances to heal, change, and grow. So yeah, I started. Oh my gosh, look at the page I opened up to. That's very interesting. What does it say? As we discussed previously, this kind of dualistic thinking leaves out all sorts of shades of gray. and twilight areas, including, well, actual twilight for one, or things that may be in one context but bad in another. Oh, maybe good in one context but bad in another. It's good. Oh, so the yin yang symbol expresses the philosophy of Taoism by showing a dot of each principle in the body of the other. Part of yin is within yang, and part of yang is within yin. Everything contains its opposite, and nothing is complete without its other. Thus, every person, everything, and every situation is a blend of yin and yang. The universe itself is self-correcting in this regard. When flow goes too far in any one direction, it turns back upon itself, just as in the illustration, always seeking to achieve balance and harmony. In broad terms, yin expresses the dark, yielding internal energies, while yang expresses the bright, indomitable external energies. Yin energy is also female, while yang is male. Although these are definitive distinctions in the Chinese idea of yin-yang, the suggestion of assigning any qualities to gender is so loaded a topic in today's society that we almost hesitate to include it. Okay, so this is so interesting and so fitting for my, 2 videos ago, I made a video called 2 Things Can Be True at Once, and how, like, even when something is good, it can be bad, and even when something is bad, it can be good. So it just is so perfect. I love that I opened to that page. But yeah, I'm reading this book. Also, if there's any books that you guys really want me to like read and talk about, let me know and I will. It'll motivate me. It'll pinpoint which ones I need to like focus on. Speaking of another book, and I've already started reading this to you guys, but I haven't gotten past like the introduction, because once I do start reading this, I want to take this book seriously, because it's like a 12-week program. It's The Artist's Way, A Spiritual Path to Higher Creativity. I really enjoyed just reading like the introduction and like the prologue. And so yeah, I really feel like this book is going to change my life, and I want to take you guys along for the ride. I know there's so many people that have already like made videos about this, but you know what? I'm gonna be one of those people because because I want to because it's fun. So yeah, it says a fascinating and fun 12-week-long program of exercises and explorations to help you loosen up your artistic self. 3 times in the last decade, I've committed to doing the Artist's Way, and each time I've learned something important and surprising about myself and my work. Without the Artist's Way, there would have been no Eat, Pray, Love. Oh, so this is the author of Eat, Pray, Love. That's super interesting. That is so fucking dope. I haven't read Eat, Pray, Love, but I know it's a really famous book, and the fact that this book helped that author write that book is so cool. So yeah, this is some pretty legit stuff that we're gonna get into later on. Okay, what else? I have Crescent City by Sarah J. Maas. Up there, I have Kingdom of Ash, and I don't really feel like getting it. I still need to read Kingdom of Ash to finish what's that series called? What was the first book? I don't have the first book, so I don't remember what it was called. But anyways, it's a book about an assassin, like, princess. There's so many books like that. And Sarah J. Maas, she was my favorite author before Mary E. Pearson was my favorite author. And those were my favorite books before The Remnant Chronicles, the ones that I showed you earlier. But yeah, so this is her new series. It's called Crescent City, House of Earth and Blood. It's a beautiful cover. Yeah, it's just like, it's fantasy. It says, Bryce Quinlan had the perfect life, working hard all day and partying all night until a demon murdered her closest friends, leaving her bereft, wounded, and alone. When the accused is behind bars, but the crimes start up again, Bryce finds herself at the heart of the investigation. She'll do whatever it takes to avenge their deaths. There's like more to the synopsis, but that's all I feel like reading. I also started reading this book. I'm on page 18. I didn't even realize I started it. And I have not finished it. I have to reread those 18 pages because I started that a really, really long time ago. Probably like 2 years ago. Okay. So as far as like books I've started, we've already... Oh, no, we haven't finished. Let me show you this one. I'm super excited for this one. This is also a book I really want to take seriously, so I just never started. It's called Magdalene Mysteries, The Left-Hand Path of the Feminine Christ. Beautiful fucking cover. So I really resonate with Mary Magdalene and her story. Look, I started reading this, right? Literally, everything I highlighted is everything that I resonated with. So I'm just gonna go, oh my gosh, I cannot. Look at the art. That's so pretty. Okay, so this is the story of her and Yeshua. So this book does say that, like, there's many accounts of Mary Magdalene and Yeshua, and there's some accounts that say they were together. There's other accounts that say they weren't. So it does start with, like, the love story between the two, but I don't believe that they were together. I feel like Mary Magdalene had, Yeshua was her teacher and somebody that she really valued and learned from. Maybe she loved him in some ways, but I just don't think they actually, like, got together and had kids together. And the reason why I feel that way is because I feel like I say this in my reincarnation video, smoke sesh, I think. But I feel so connected to her story that as I was reading this book, it felt like remembering. Some things felt like remembering. But yeah, look at how much I highlighted and, like, wrote. I was, like, getting insights and downloads as I was reading it. Look at this. And it's not always that I feel called to, like, write this much and highlight this much. But yeah, I love this book so much, and it's just going through, like, what history says about her and the different theories about her life. It says in the back, a sacred priestess of the ancient womb rites, Mary Magdalene was at the center of a great and enduring mystery tradition, one that touched on a stream of perennial spiritual wisdom as old as humanity. Worshipped as the human embodiment of the goddess, the earthly Sophia, her womb was the spiritual illuminatrix that anointed and empowered Jesus, transforming him into the Christ. As a priestess of the goddess, Mary Magdalene knew how to embody the light and the dark, how to harness the magic potency of sacred sexual energy, and how to cleanse, awaken, and resurrect the soul. Yet, even though she sparked the creation of a worldwide religion, her story and teachings have been forgotten. Unveiling the lost left-hand path of the Magdalene, the feminine Christ, authors Serene and Azra explore how this underground stream... Oh my gosh, my left ear just started ringing so much. It's still going. And it's the left side. It's my left ear. Wow. See, this is the kind of shit that happens when I'm reading this book. Okay. They explore how this underground stream of knowledge has been carried forward over the millennia through an unbroken lineage of womb, shamans, priestesses, oracles, and medicine women. They explain how the Magdalene mysteries, symbolized by the rose, have been embodied in Gnostic codices, and gospels, and in the highest art, literature, and architecture of many ages, including most significantly the Ghent altarpiece. They examine Mary Magdalene's connection to moon wisdom, sacred harlot archetypes, and goddesses in many traditions, including Isis, Inanna, Ashura, Lilith, and Jezebel, and look at shamanic, tantric, and Cathar expressions of sacred feminine mysteries, as well as the witch and Templar roots of Robin Hood and Maid Marian. Oh my gosh. What the fuck? How did I know that? Okay. There's this sword. This is the last video that I posted. It's called I'm Not a Princess, I'm a Samurai. And there's a sword that I felt called to buy, and it has Robin Hood engraved on it. So that's crazy. Excuse me. The Templar roots of Robin Hood and Maid Marian. In the revelatory and oh my god, I can't speak. Also, it was a husband and a wife that wrote this book, so that's pretty cool. In this revelatory and magical text on the lost feminine mystery traditions of Mary Magdalene and the lineage of Sophia, the authors present encompassing theological, historical, mythological, and archetypal wisdom with rituals and practices to initiate you into the womb magic of the ancient priestesses on the path of the wild feminine. I love that so much, and I feel called to like read more in depth of the like that's so cute. Read more in depth about these two authors. So Serene Bertrand is a visionary creatrix and spirit keeper with a degree in English literature and modern philosophy, who is dedicated to restoring the lost global feminine wisdom traditions. Ezra Bertrand has a degree in biochemistry and studied at Duke University School of Medicine with research at the NIH. He has been a pioneering doctor and mystic for more than 2 decades, following the feminine pathway of alchemy. Their previous book, Womb Awakening, received 5 awards, including a Nautilus Award. They live in the Appalachian Mountains of North Carolina. That's so cute. But yeah, so they wrote this book, and I think I'm actually probably going to start reading this today. I don't mind reading this slowly, because I really, like, as you saw with all those highlighting and writing, like, I really, really want to take my time to learn this and integrate this. And, like, yeah. Anyways. Love it, love it, love it. Okay, I also started this book. It's called The Sophia Code. This one I did start 2 years ago also and never finished. I have to reread this one also. But that one was, so Magdalene Mysteries was talking about the lineage of Sophia. And this talks about who Sophia even was or is. A living transmission from the Sophia Dragon tribe. It is very woo-woo. Like, it is very woo-woo, and there's some things that I don't fully resonate with. How far did I get? Oh my gosh, look at what I highlighted. It says, you may be one of the many individuals drawn to this codex who incarnated within a 300-year radius of Mother Mary and Mary Magdalene's final lifetime on Earth. That's cool that I opened to that page. Right here, it says, we use a visionary right brain model for self-activating your awareness to the truth of your own omniscient existence within multiple dimensions of reality. For you, simultaneously exist everywhere. So they like believe in like the Galactic Federation, and like they don't specifically use that term. They use Sophia Dragon Tribe. So, like I said, it is very woo-woo, but there is a lot that I was taking from this book and resonating with. Not nearly as much as Magdalene Mysteries. But, let me see this other part that I highlighted. For I am the presence, the source, and the quantum fabric from which all life arises. However, your free will has the sovereign power to create an illusion governing your human awareness to believe that we are separate. As you read these words, any temporary illusion of our separation is now lifting. I am Sophia, your original Divine Mother Source. As you invite my presence to permeate your awareness, you will only discover more and more of your own holy nature. Plunging into the ineffable depths of immaculate creative power provides you with a perfect mirror of your own soul, a pure reflection of your divinity that you can no longer deny. I created your soul as a unique reflection of my one self. Therefore, your soul is a perfect hologram of my consciousness, forever expanding within my one mind. So this is dope as hell. So, yeah, and I found this book around the time that I was using the term mother instead of father. And it was before I started using Elohim too. And I was getting to know the Divine Mother, which I guess in this book they refer to her as Sophia. And then it was like the masculine was introducing me to the feminine. The Divine Masculine was introducing to the Divine Feminine. And then after I got to know her, I integrated both of them together, and now it's Elohim. And Magdalene Mysteries mentioned a name, Ashura. So Ashura is a term that has really drawn me, and I haven't learned that much about. I watched a really, really in-depth video about it, but there's actually not much on it because a lot of her existence was kind of wiped, or a lot of the history of her existence has been wiped from historical records. There are some, but not as much. So the Hebrews, the ancient Hebrews believed in 3 gods. They believed in Yahweh, Ashura, the wife Ashura, and then Baal. I don't know how they say it. And so the Divine Masculine, Ashura the Divine Feminine, and then Baal was the devil, right? The lower version of the 3, maybe? I don't know. So Ashura, or people who worshipped Yahweh, didn't like that Ashura, there was more people believing in Ashura and worshipping Ashura because there was more feminines. There was a lot of females in ancient Hebrew times, and and obviously the females gravitated towards Ashura over Yahweh, and of course the patriarchy doesn't like when a woman is empowered. And so that's when they burned burned temples dedicated to Ashura and removed her from their history. So yeah, I just find that very interesting. Another book that I'm excited to read but I haven't started is Mary Magdalene Revealed: The First Apostle, Her Feminist Gospel, and the Christianity We Haven't Tried Yet, by Megan Watterson. I follow her on Instagram. I really like what she has said in podcasts, so I wanted to give this book, oh my gosh, What It Means to Be Human. I want to read this little snippet. Peter said to Mary, "Sister, we know the Savior loved you more than all other women. Tell us the words of the Savior that you remember, the things which you know that we don't because we haven't heard them." So this was in the Gospel of Mary 6:1-2, and which has also been taken out from the Canon Bible, but it basically talks about what Jesus taught her, which was a lot about what happens in the afterlife, death, and how he was able to resurrect people. Mary Magdalene is heavily associated with death. She was there when actually isn't Lazarus her brother, if I'm not mistaken? So Lazarus was dead, and then Yeshua shows up, and he ends up resurrecting Lazarus, and Lazarus comes out of the tomb. And Mary Magdalene was the first person to see Yeshua after, when he left the tomb after he was dead. So she was the first one to see his purest form. And so, although I don't think they were together, I think Jesus did really love her, not in a romantic sense. I think he loved the purity within her. I think they were soulmates in the way that, he saw something in himself. So he saw something in her that he had in himself, which is beautiful. I think it's more beautiful and more pure. I don't think Yeshua ever tainted that, just because of what he was learning in that lifetime. Because I do think Yeshua was David in a past life, and David did lust and made some bad decisions, and I think because of that, in Yeshua's life, or as Yeshua, he was specifically refraining from that, and learned to not let those thoughts and feelings control him. So that's cool. What else should I show you? Oh, I did start reading this one too, and I forgot. Oh, there's 2 other ones too. Okay, so Earth. This is also a very woo-woo book that I really resonated with. They also believe in the Galactic Federation. So it says Pleiadian Keys to the Living Library. I just find it very interesting, what it was saying and teaching. The coding is inside each individual. Once you are able to question and see beyond the current interpretation of reality, you are guided to create thought forms to fire the codings in others. Your version is minuscule in light of what exists, so we are asking you to consider colossal changes to your stories and imagine bigger versions of existence. So, yeah, I was really connected to this book. I'm still really, really connected to this book. I need to finish it though. Another book that I started. This book means so much to me, and I've hardly read it, but it's another one I want to take serious. The Explanations of the Answers to the Truth. So, The Answers to the Truth is a book that was written in, I think, Chinese. Oh man, my TV turned off. Okay. But yeah, I think it was written in Chinese, and so, there was, Buddhists, actually. They were Buddhists that ended up translating this book and giving explanations on what it means. There's a synopsis that's that specifically says what their intentions were. Forward by Lao Mu. Wait. Okay, I cannot find where I read that. I love the way Chinese looks. I love this. That know the true heart, see the truth self, no motion, no stillness, no birth, no vanishing, no going, no coming, no right, no wrong, no dwelling, no drifting. The practice of Tao is Wu Wei, preach for heaven, inform fellow practitioners, the revelation of Buddhas, cease thoughts and overcome desires, be pure and tranquil in all senses. The One Word Sutra has 4 words in each of the 7 verses. Recite in silence faithfully without interruptions. Deviate not even a moment. Be tenacious and persistent, enlightening the true heart and seeing the true self, the supreme way of sudden realization, encountering such a golden opportunity. Rejoice, rejoice. Buddhahood and immortality is so attained with fate. The faithful devotees can attain, the non-believers will be drawn. Wu Wei is the state of having no desires or thoughts. But yeah, so I resonate with everything in this fucking book. It's like I'm reading it and these are like things that I've already learned. I'm just like remembering. So I really think I was... Do they call themselves Buddhists? But they believe in Taoism? I was given this book by a guy who I used to do Bible studies with. He was like, he lived with the Buddhas in Florida and in California for a very long time. But then he left their temple because they were refusing. Okay, sorry. I'm like I'm like looking at this dresser that I have, and it says made in China in really big letters, and it just really like resonates with me because I was like I just had a realization yesterday that I was a samurai in at least 2 lives. At least 2 lives. I think I was in multiple lives. More than that. But I forgot what I was saying. Oh yeah. So he left the Buddhas because they were refusing to feed anybody who worshiped Jesus, and that didn't sit right with him and his soul. So then he went full Christian. But they gave him this book. They also gave him a little like singing bowl, and he ended up giving me this book and that singing bowl. So that's cool. I really like this book. Another book that I started and haven't finished is The Power of the Subconscious Mind by Joseph Murphy. It says there are no limits to the prosperity, happiness, and peace of mind you can achieve simply by using the power of the subconscious mind. I have like airplane tickets as a bookmark for this, which is interesting. Where did I go? Was it when I went to California? I don't know, I feel like the fact that I found this again is like a sign. I've been thinking about like traveling. Oh, it was when I went to Wisconsin. Oh, I love that even more. I went to Wisconsin to visit family. And I want to make it a point to like go there at least once a year. I went for 2 months. Back in 2024. I'd like to go again. But okay, so I showed you those. Those are the ones that I started. Which ones am I really excited to read? I'm excited to read this one. The 3 Waves of Volunteers and the New Earth by Dolores Cannon. Dolores Cannon is super well known. I've seen some of her videos and I really resonated with the insight that she gave. So this is like, I don't know, this is like conversations with her. Yeah, it's like an interview, like a really long interview. It says, ooh, this is a book this is where I opened. We would say this to you. There are those of you that meet in the dream state that are far more involved with the orchestrations on this planet than you have any idea at this time. There are those of you that bring specific information to the form. We would also say to you that there are those of you that carry forward truth, that bring that truth forward without hidden agenda, without distortion. And therefore, those of you that come together that are of that ilk, that are of that nature, know one another more than you know. Oh, interesting. So basically they're saying, so it's saying the three waves of volunteers, right? So the volunteers, the people that are reincarnating, that carry these specific light codes and have these specific missions, they're saying that we meet in the dream state and then we know each other more than we know, which is interesting because there are people that I feel connected to that I've never physically met. Like I feel connected to Jadina on YouTube, Onati or Natija, Freya, channeled through Freya. And it's so interesting because I felt connected to those three, and it turns out the three of them are friends. And Jadina and Natija traveled to Ireland together, and they like met online first, if I'm not mistaken. So that's super interesting. There's also this YouTuber, his name is Ryan Robinson. I feel connected to him also. There's things that he says that like hit at the right time. Well, all four of them actually. There are things that they say that hit at the right time that remind me of things that I've already learned or I'm learning. And yeah, and I feel connected to them. Like, I don't know if I'm ever gonna meet them, but maybe we know each other in like a cosmic sense. This is interesting. I'm actually really excited to read that. I think I'm gonna start opening this book. I haven't started it yet. I also got this book for my birthday. It's called Meditations on the Tarot, A Journey into Christian Hermeticism. So it goes in depth over each like tarot card. Look at how like long, like there's so many words. This is a humongous book. I love it though. And I opened a page to the Emperor and I really resonated with it last time. I opened a Temperance. I keep pulling the Temperance card. Okay, so I'm going to read this then. Ooh, it starts with a scripture. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. All things were made through him, and nothing that has been made was made without him. In him was the life, and the life was the light of man. This was the true light that enlightens every man coming into the world. Now, unity of the light in the whole past, in the present, and in the whole future. Unity of the light in the east, west, north, and south. Unity of the light in magic, gnosis, and mysticism. Unity of the light, lastly, in cult, revelation, and salvation. This is the Hermetic vocation, which is, I repeat, as irresistible and irrevocable as that of priest, monk, or religious knight. I may add that it is to you who are irresistibly and irrevocably called to Hermeticism that I address these letters, and that it is you whom I call dear unknown friends. Aww! Aww! So Jadina, Natija, Freya, and Ryan are my 4 unknown friends. I like that. 4 unknown friends. I acknowledge that I have also known friends, but with respect to these latter, they are for the most part to be found in the spiritual world. All the more do I address myself to them in these letters, and how many times in writing those letters I have felt the fraternal embraces of these friends, including here Pappas, Quita, Paladin, Eliphas Levi, and Louis Claude de Saint-Martin. Friends, here and there, the mystery is one and indivisible. sealed by sweat, tears, and blood. You friends who are there, now you know that there is only one truth, one light, one Christ, one community, and that there is neither separate exotericism and esotericism, nor separate exoteric and esoteric communities. May the friends who are here know this also. That is so cute. Like the way that wait, how many? It was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, I only mentioned 4 people, but still, like the fact that he named them specifically, and I was like, for a second, I was like, should I? Like, I'm kind of embarrassed, but no, I felt like it was important to. And then there you go. And this is a whole other book. I love that, and just a random page that I opened to. That's so cool. I can't wait to read this. What else to show you? Oh, okay. So I picked this up. I don't know why I feel called to. It says Integral Life Practice, a 21st Century Blueprint for Physical Health, Emotional Balance, Mental Clarity, and Spiritual Awakening. It was written by 4 authors. At once challenging and uplifting, tender yet assertive, this provocative and accessible book is the source text for a new movement in post-metaphysics and life transformation. This book is the definitive roadmap for your journey to an awakened life. So, yeah. Also a book I would like to take seriously, but I think I'm going to do the Artist's Way first, and then I'll do this one. Ooh, okay, I have this book by Eckhart Tolle. I really like Eckhart Tolle. I like how he speaks. I like what he has to say. I like he's just so soothing. And I started listening to this audiobook on this book, A New Earth. And it was very soothing hearing him, but things that, like, when I listen to it, it's really, really hard for it to stick with me. So I ended up buying the actual book. It's a wake-up call for the entire planet, one reader at a time. It helps us to distance ourselves from our egos and to open ourselves to a higher self. It helps us to stop creating our own suffering and obsessing over the past and what the future might be, and to put ourselves in the now. You should look up some of the seminars that Eckhart Tolle has made. I think he's still alive, and it's so cool. The reason why Eckhart Tolle I started feeling pulled to him I started hearing his name everywhere, and having his books recommended to me. And then I was listening to Kendrick's album, and this was after his 5-year hiatus. He released his Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, and I listened to that album, and it literally starts with like you need to talk to somebody, reach out to Eckhart. And so I was like, what the hell? Like, so he reached out to Eckhart, and Eckhart ended up helping him with like figuring out some shit. And so yeah, I wanted Eckhart to help me figure out some shit also. Like, Eckhart is like the perfect therapist. It was around the time that I wanted a therapist, but I did get a therapist, and they could not help me because, like, I told them I was doing mushrooms, and they were trying to get me to stop doing mushrooms. And then I was telling her the things that I was being shown on the mushrooms, and she was just too focused on the mushrooms. Like, she wasn't focused on, like, she wasn't helping me figure this shit out, or make sense of it. Like, she was mostly just concerned for me, and I didn't appreciate that. Like, it was making me feel more crazy, and I needed somebody like Eckhart, because Eckhart would be able to, like, hear what I'm saying and repeat it back to me, or help me understand it in, like, by using, like, better words and his knowledge to, like, explain these concepts to me. But yeah, this is called the first book is called The Power of Now. The second book is called A New Earth. Awakening to Your Life's Purpose. I'm really excited to read this one. I want to show you one more book, and then I think I'm going to end the video. I just don't know which book to show you. I guess this one, yeah. I feel really excited to read Truthwitch. This is another fantasy book. It says, on a continent ruled by 3 empires, some are born with a witchery, a magical skill that sets them apart from others. In the Witchlands, there are almost as many types of magic as there are ways to get in trouble. As 2 desperate young women know all too well, Safiya is a truth witch, able to discern truth from a lie. It's a powerful magic that many would kill to have on their side, especially amongst the nobility to which Safi was born. So Safi must keep her gift hidden, lest she be used as a pawn in the struggle between empires. I don't even know how to say these names. Iseult, a thread witch, can see the invisible ties that bind and entangle the lives around her, but she cannot see the bonds that touch her own heart. Her unlikely friendship with Safi has taken her from life as an outcast to one of reckless adventure, where she is cool, wary balance to Safiya's hot-headed impulsiveness. Safiya and Iseult just want to be free to live their own lives, but war is coming to the Witchlands. With the help of the cunning Prince Murik, a wind witch and ship's captain, and the hindrance of a blood witch bent on revenge, the friends must fight emperors, princes, and mercenaries alike who will stop at nothing to get their hands on a truth witch. Aww! I don't think I had taken the time to really, seriously read the synopsis, and it reminds me of me and Alexa again. Alexa grounds me, because there was this one time I was, on mushrooms, or coming down from mushrooms, and having these realizations, and I was telling her about the shit I had to deal with, at home, and, how I would have to, I'll fucking beg for food from my dad, and he still wouldn't bring me any. I'm not gonna get into it, but I was, crying to her and yelling, and my dad was, across the hall. He could hear me, and I was saying about how fucked up this was. Or no, actually, I was saying about what I had to deal with and how, he's not a fucking man, you know? And doesn't even take care of his own daughter. And Alexa was so calm. And she was even telling me, she's like, I don't know why I'm so calm. You're having this breakdown, right? And I'm just so grounded. It's so soothing for me. And not in a bad way. She felt validated. She had never seen somebody be so, open and raw with her, or just in general. And it, made her feel more, sane. And so, but she was so grounded, and her being so grounded, and she was telling me, she's like, that's fucked up. That's not normal. You shouldn't have to be dealing with that. And I was like, whoa, you're so right. That's not normal. It's not normal to have to beg for love and beg for food and beg for acknowledgement and, you know? And she, validated me. So anyways, this just made me really, really think of her. There's so many books I want to read, and then I just don't read any of them. Because I want to read so many. Also, one of my favorite authors, Sarah J. Maas, she did a little snippet, and it says, an instant new classic, a fierce and vibrant world. So if she recommends it, I definitely need to read this. Oh my gosh, and it was $9.99. $9.99. $9.99 is a super important number for me. And then not just that, but in the code it says $9.99 also. I don't know if you could see that one. But yeah, okay. I'm gonna leave you with that. This was a long ass video, but these are all the books that I'm excited for, and not even all my books. Look, I just showed you this hold on. I just showed you this. But I have so much more. I even have books on my other bookshelf over there. Oh, look. Let me show you the Maiden... Oh, my gosh. Let me show you the Made in China thing. Do you see it? Made in China? Okay. But yeah, so I have so many books. I'm obviously not going to show you all of them, or this video would be like so many hours long. But yeah, I'm going to be reading more. Tell me which one you guys want me to like finish first and talk about first. And I will, because that's fun. I love you. Thank you for watching. Like, subscribe. I'm gonna be making more booktube videos, so that's fun and exciting. Stay tuned. Thank you again for watching. I love you, and bye. Have a good day.